Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves today on the precipice of an unseen and largely unspoken crisis. This crisis, insidious and stealthy, permeates every corner of our society, influencing the psyche of our young men and altering their perception of themselves in ways both profound and unsettling. This crisis is the relentless and systematic emasculation of our men and our sons. It is a debilitating narrative, constantly in flux, yet rooted in the belief that our young men are weak, that they are less than what they should be, and worse, that they should be ashamed of their inherent masculinity. The greatest generation, as we fondly recall, were men of iron will and unyielding spirit, men who marched into the jaws of world wars, who bore the weight of the Great Depression, and who embodied the very essence of resilience. Yet, in the eyes of society, our young men are juxtaposed against these paragons from a bygone era. This comparison, cruel in its insinuation, serves only to belittle their self-worth and suppress their individuality. They are not the same men. They do not grapple with the same adversities. They do not shoulder the same burdens, and yet they are expected to live up to an outdated archetype of masculinity, a standard that marginalizes their worth and snuffs out their individual spark. President John F. Kennedy once said, "Do not pray for easy lives. Pray to be stronger men." His words ring true today more than ever. Let's take these words to heart, because the battle we face is not for the faint-hearted. These words bear a profound relevance today. Our challenge is not to fear the trials we face, but to seek the strength to overcome them. Society has undergone a metamorphosis. We've seen women rise to power and stature, which is true progress. However, it has coincided with the diminishing representation of strong masculine men. In comparison to the greatest generation, our young men seem to falter, their strength sapped, their spirit suppressed. The media and entertainment industry, knowingly, have played a part in this portrayal, replacing men of strength with caricatures of weakness and ineptitude. Men today are afraid to assert their masculinity, to embody their inherent strength, for fear of being labeled or being misunderstood. This fear is engendered by the very factions that should be championing the cause of equality, the liberals and the conservatives and the woke mob. Each, in their own way, has contributed to this narrative that masculinity in its purest form is a trait to be shunned, an aspect to be canceled. Strength isn't confined to gender. It is not a contest with winners and losers. It is an intrinsic human quality, a shared responsibility, a collective asset. Our society is a delicate balance, one that thrives on the shared strength of men and women alike. As we venture into the uncertain future that lies before us, we will need the strongest individuals that humanity has ever known. We have to bring back the balance, restore the respect for masculinity. Men are not the enemy, nor is masculinity. It is the distorted, misunderstood, and exploited version of masculinity that we must rectify. How, you ask? By encouraging our men and our sons to embrace their inherent strength, to stand tall and firm, to be the providers, the protectors, the trailblazers they are destined to be. Honor your wives, cherish your families, respect the women in your lives, and in doing so, do not forget your masculinity, but strengthen it. We can't afford to let the woke mob dictate what is right and wrong about our very nature. Reject the notion that masculinity is toxic. It's not. Misuse represented masculinity can be, but masculinity, in its truest sense, is beautiful and it's necessary. How can we redefine and reclaim this masculinity? By fostering emotional resilience, by encouraging physical strength, by nurturing intellectual growth. Be well read, engage in stimulating conversations, strive to understand the world around you. Exercise not just for the aesthetics, but for the strength it gives you both physically and mentally. Express your emotions not as a sign of weakness, but as a badge of courage. Embrace your moral compass. Stand for what you believe in. Uphold your principles with unwavering determination. Do not mistake dominance for strength. True strength lies in empathy, in respect, in honor. Our world stands on the brink of a new era, one that will require the strongest amongst the men to lead the way. We need our men to be men, to stand as the pillars of the strength and resilience, to face the tide of adversity with a tenacious spirit. Women, stand with your men, empower them, support them. Your sons are watching the way you treat their fathers. Stand with the men, see their strength as an ally, not an enemy. Encourage them, support them, and empower them. You are not just bystanders in this journey, but co-travelers and equal participants. We need to strive for balance, a world where men can be men, strong and masculine, without fearing backlash. A world where women are not competitors, but allies. Together, our strength lies not in our individuality, but in our unity. Let's remember Kennedy's words. Let's embody them. Let's not pray for easy lives. Let's pray to be stronger men, to be stronger women. We don't just survive adversity, we thrive in it. So, stand tall, stand strong, and together, let's stare down the New World Order. In the face of the trials that lie ahead, we will need strength. We will need courage. We will need unity. We have to reject the divisive narratives that seek to pit men against women, strength against weakness, tradition against progress. We have to embrace the spectrum of strength that resides in us all, regardless of our gender. So, let's begin today. Let's ignite our respect for strength in our men. Let's inspire them to embody their inherent masculinity without fear or shame. Like it or not, this is a new era in human history. Powerful people have seen to that. Because of them, this is now an era where strength in all its forms must be celebrated, where masculinity and femininity coexist, not in opposition, but in harmony, where men and women stand side by side, their strengths combined, ready to face whatever the future holds.